to the last portion of our concert here. In front of you, we have our wind orchestra. I want to talk a little bit about this piece of music because it does have, and it's funny because if you've been around, you know that Mr. Carlin and Mr. Peter and myself are all sort of weirdly intertwined in this odd, tiny community called Drum and Bugle Corps. That's how we all met each other. The piece of music that you're going to hear is actually part of a larger piece called A Florida Suite by Robert W. Smith. It was the first fully original Drum and Bugle Corps show that was ever written and performed. He was in his early 20s when he wrote this piece of music for the 1985 Suncoast Sound in Central Florida, Largo, Florida, so west coast of Florida. This piece came up and I couldn't believe that it was even arranged for concert band, and I brought it up to Mr. Carlin and he was like, dude, we have to do this. It's really cool. There's a lot of solos in there, and it's just a really nice through line from where Robert started. You've heard this is kind of the very beginning of his career, and you heard stuff toward the end of his career. So hope you enjoy this. It's really pretty.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ray, for bringing that to us. Did Mr. Ray talk about the orchestrator for that? Evan Van Doren? Did he mention him? Donnie Van Doren, Evan's dad, was my brass instructor at the Drum and Bugle Corps in Bloomington, Indiana, Star of Indiana. I'm a bit older than Mr. Peter and Mr. Ray, so you see, Evan used to come, he's about this tall, and he would hold Donnie's hand and come and listen to Star's brass line. Evan is now all grown up and is a great band director in Texas and teaches the Santa Clara Vanguard Drum and Bugle Corps and creates music like that. So it's just fun to be, well, I guess I'm getting to a certain age, aren't I? It's easy to get sentimental, but you see all these young people or babies you once knew who are now just adults and making great music. We're going to continue with the last bit of our program, which is a bit of an Americana program. So the first piece is American Overture by a musician named Joseph Wilcox Jenkins. He wrote it when he was extremely young. He was in his early 20s, and he was in the Army, and he was a musician. He was stationed with an Army band, and he wrote it for the band with whom he was stationed, which apparently had a fantastic horn section. So when I go back and locate my scores and create a bad pregnant pause here and come back, you'll hear this piece begin with a huge horn call. For our finale, I needed some help. I needed a voice. I needed a musician with a voice and somebody with gravitas. And I found him. In fact, he was reciting Shakespeare during our sound check. That was pretty cool. I jokingly said, recite some Hamlet, and then to be or not to be appeared. Shuffling off a mortal coil and all. So, please, it brings me great pleasure. This has been a great collaboration for me. This family and this man in particular is an institution here at Westlake. Will, you're the fourth child going through the program, is that right? And everybody is a pro musician? Pretty much. That's how it goes. So that's pretty impressive. This is a spectacular place to do music education and school music. I get to work with students and families like yours, and it really is a special thing. So, as a thank you for all the great help that Rob has been to me over these 3 years, and really as a tribute to everything he and Sherry and the family have accomplished over decades, please welcome to the stage for Lincoln Portrait, Mr. Rob Robinson.
fellow citizens, we cannot escape history. That is what he said. That is what Abraham Lincoln said. Fellow citizens, we cannot escape history. We of this Congress and this administration will be remembered in spite of ourselves. No personal significance or insignificance can spare one or another of us. The fiery trial through which we pass will light us down in honor or dishonor to the latest generation. We, even we here, hold the power and bear the responsibility. He was born in Kentucky, raised in Indiana, and lived in Illinois. And this is what he said. This is what Abe Lincoln said. The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise with the occasion. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew. We must disenthrall ourselves, and then we shall save our country. When standing erect, he was 6 feet 4 inches tall, and this is what he said. He said, "It is the eternal struggle between two principles, right and wrong, throughout the world. It is the same spirit that says, you toil and work and earn bread, and I'll eat it, no matter in what shape it comes. Whether from the mouth of a king who seeks to bestride the people of his own nation and live by the fruit of their labor, or from one race of men as an apology for enslaving another race. It is the same tyrannical principle. Lincoln was a quiet man. Abe Lincoln was a quiet and a melancholy man. But when he spoke of democracy, this is what he said. He said, "As I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master." This expresses my idea of democracy. Whatever differs from this, to the extent of the difference, is no democracy. Abraham Lincoln, 16th President of these United States, is everlasting in the memory of his countrymen. For on the battleground at Gettysburg, this is what he said. He said that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth.